In 1799, a king whispered a name that had been banned for centuries. The name of a creature not seen since the days when knights rode out to die. A dragon. His council thought he was mad. His priests thought he was cursed. But the king? He was dying. And desperate men will bargain with devils. What he did next was struck from every record. Every book. Every law. But the truth survived. In flame. In legend. And in a pact written in blood. This is the story they buried. The story of a dying king. A desperate deal. And the last dragon who ever spoke to man. 1. The Dying Kingdom. King Aldric of Ilaria ruled for 47 years. He was strong, wise, and merciless. But in the winter of 1799, he began to rot from the inside. No physician could explain it. No tonic could cure it. His skin grew pale, his voice weak. And then came the dreams. He saw fire. Gold. A mountain that breathed. And a voice. That called him by his true name. He was not just afraid of death. He was afraid of being forgotten. Of leaving a kingdom in ruin, a line broken, and a son too young to rule. So, in secret, he summoned the old lore-keeper. A blind man named Kale, the last keeper of the Pact. Kale whispered one word. Drakkar. The dragon of the Iron Mountains. Thought to be slain in the age of cleansing. But Kale insisted, he was alive. And he would bargain. For a price. The king gave a single order. Prepare the black carriage. We ride at night. 2. The dragon's deal. They journeyed through the cursed pass. Through lands where compasses spun wild and birds never flew. And deep in the mountains. They found him. Not a beast. But something, older. Something regal. Scales like obsidian. Eyes like dying stars. Drakkar. He spoke not with words. But with memories. A flash of the king's childhood. His mother's death. His first betrayal. And finally, his future. A kingdom devoured by fire. Unless, he paid the price. Drakkar's offer was simple. Life for Aldric. Peace for Ilaria. But in return. A child. Not to kill. To raise. As his own. The king hesitated. His son was only 10. His last hope. His only heir. But Drakkar did not want the prince. He wanted a child born that very night, in a peasant village below. One whose fate burned brighter than kings. A girl named Lyra. A girl who would one day choose the fate of dragons, or men. The king agreed. And so the pact was made. In flame. In flesh. And in forgotten tongues. The consequences. King Aldric returned, fully healed. His people called it a miracle. His enemies, witchcraft. But peace returned. Harvests grew. And war ended. But every year, on the same night. He dreamed of a girl with silver eyes, walking alongside a dragon. He ruled for 19 more years. Then, one day. He vanished. No tomb. No crown. Just a single feather, blackened by fire. And across the sea, a young woman named Lyra awakened with a memory that was not hers. The mountain. The king. The fire. They told her she was adopted. That she was nobody. But one night, a shadow landed outside her window. Massive. Silent. With eyes like dying stars. And a voice spoke in her mind. It is time to choose. History remembers kings. Sometimes, it even remembers dragons. But it rarely remembers the choices made in the dark. The pacts sealed with blood. The lives traded for peace. Lyra was never meant to be found. But now she walks between worlds. And as for the dragon, some say he watches from the mountains. Others say he's waiting for the day she makes her choice. Because the last pact was not an ending. It was a beginning. And the fire has only just begun to burn.